All right, good evening. Coach Ethan Cubit, Ironclad CrossFit, Easton, Maryland. Going over lesson 13, managing multiple skill levels in class. And my athletes I chose in advanced, intermediate, and beginner athletes. My advanced athlete is Joel. He's my advanced athlete. Aaron is going to be my intermediate athlete. And Indra is going to be my beginner athlete. The workout that I chose was one that we did in our gym, and the workout was 10 minutes. You had 250 double unders, 50 chest to bar pull-ups, and then in the remaining time, you had max thrusters at 105 pounds for the women, 155 pounds for the men. Stimulus that we're looking at for this workout, we're looking at getting the double unders in 3 minutes or less, chest to bar pull-ups 3 minutes or less, and thrusters having about 4 minutes to get max thrusters. And that'll make sense as I get into my scaling options here of why I needed to know the stimulus. So for Joel, my advanced athlete, double unders are going to be as written. I'm going to be coaching him and saying that I'd like to see big sets from him, focusing on tight elbows to the body as he starts to become fatigued. Our arms tend to come up, making sure he stays tight with his elbows and making sure he's jumping high, rest as needed. I would challenge him again, big sets there. For his chest to bar pull-ups, again, he'd be doing them as written. Again, challenging him, big sets. I'd like to see at least sets of 5. That may not seem very big, but I'd like to see at least sets of 5. Telling him breaking them up as needed, making sure that he's staying tight and long in his hollow and arch positions, and also making sure his chest hits the bar. For the thrusters, again, he'd be doing them as written. I would challenge him, hey, I'd like to see at least 30 plus reps out of him for the sets. And again, hitting sets at least sets of 5 to go ahead and challenge Joel, making sure that he is focusing on his timing, making sure his hips come to full extension first before he presses overhead, locking out overhead, and making sure that he's getting depth on his thruster. For Aaron, my intermediate athlete who can do all of these movements, volume is just the issue for him, as well as some strength down here. So for his double unders, I would cap him at 3 minutes. I would tell him, hey, shoot for 250. You have 3 minutes, as many reps as you can get in 3 minutes. For his chest to bar pull-ups, same thing. I would tell him, hey, shoot for 50. You have as many reps as you can get in 3 minutes. Hard stops for him, because I want him getting 4 minutes total for his max thrusters down here. So for his thrusters here, I would be scaling his weight. I'd like him to hit sets of at least 5, but I want it to be a challenging 5. To me, at the end of his 4 minutes, if he's only hitting sets of 2, but the weight is challenging enough, that's good. And I'd like to see at least 20 reps out of him at a challenging weight. He may not be able to hit 155, but I'd like to still keep it heavy enough where it's challenging for him. And again, for his thrusters here, focusing on his timing, making sure he's coming to full extension, and also hitting depth as he gets tired. And then for his chest to bar pull-ups, I forgot to mention, I'm also making sure his chest is hitting the bar here, and he is staying tight and long in his hollow and arch position as well. So for Indra, for my beginner athlete, for her double unders, I would focus her on single under attempts here. I'd also give her that 3 minute time cap of where we're moving on. My big focus would be rest as needed for this, and then string together as many as possible. But the big focus on, you have 3 minutes to get as many as you can, but also rest is needed. I don't want you to overdo it, especially with her as a beginner athlete. For her chest to bar pull-ups, I will take her through my pull-up progressions here. Kip swings here, probably from a box, and then getting her into some jumping pull-ups from a box. Again, I would cap her at 3 minutes here. Big focus on rest is needed. If the jumping pull-ups begin to get too exhausting for her or too difficult, we can also switch to some challenging ring rows, which I would take her through on my progressions as well. For her thrusters, I would certainly take her through the progressions with the class, and I would look to scale the weight. For her, I would be focusing on timing and depth and really hammering home technique, not so much weight here and getting reps. I would really be hammering, focusing on timing and technique. And that's how I ran the class for this 3, and it will be 10 minutes, 3, 2, 1, go. That's how we do it. Let me know how I did.